Yeah, so I started my production company, Listen Up Media, about 2 years ago, and this was actually the first project that I was able to come on as an executive producer. And I was really excited about the film because it really explores kind of the spectrum of the humanity of black boys and black men, understanding that we're not monolithic, and really being able to display kind of the fear, the joy, the pain, the love, the creativity that is oftentimes left out of the narrative when we talk about our black boys. We're oftentimes, we commodify the body, but completely ignore the minds of black men. And I think the film does a great job of really putting that on display, but also showing, people how, especially in the education system, as early as, kindergarten, our kids are receiving messages about who they are, and specifically black boys. And that humanity has been under attack since starting at that early age all the way through adulthood. So it's a project I'm really excited to be a part of, and looking forward to following it up with black girls and working with some women in the industry, maybe the Regina Kings and people like that who really can tell that story about what our black girls are going through. Well, I think the expectations is to see a lot of new stuff. They've obviously added a lot of new people, a lot of new personnel on offense, especially. And so, early in the game, you're trying to figure out what are the concepts and things that that they traditionally do, their bread and butter that we've seen on tape from last year and years before. But you also know that there's going to be something that Brady's going to bring and add to that offense. So I think a lot of it is going to have to take some adjustments throughout the game. But they obviously have a very, very talented roster. They got guys that can make plays all over the field. So it's going to be interesting to see those matchups. Yeah, I think for me and our team, we talked about some different people we can highlight throughout the season. I think week one will be Breonna Taylor for me, but we want to continue to do that throughout the season and draw awareness. But I think the challenge for everybody, not just athletes or NFL guys, but for everybody, is to move not only with the demonstrations and the awareness. I think we're in a place where we're very, very aware. It's how do we move to political engagement? And I think everybody's looking for what they can do, and there's no way to avoid the politics of the situation, the policy, and the people who have the power to actually create the changes that we want, and those being our elected officials. So I think as a player standpoint, it's great to raise awareness, but the next challenge is how do we ourselves, but also ownership and the league, who has so much authority and so much power and leverage in these spaces, how do we get them to utilize that in a political manner to really change what's happening on the street from a policy level.